Hello, fam, and we are back for episode 2 of Minecraft. I literally just stopped the recording and started it again, because I'm trying to, portion out time so that it's easier for editing and, bullshit like that. Last episode we just literally talked about, I'm just the one talking. I just rambled about various things that I find slightly interesting. So I'm gonna try to talk about Minecraft this episode. A little bit of a change of pace. Minecraft is fun. My brain is just not very connected to thought right now. I'm not tired. I'm energized, which is probably not the best. Well, anyway, or you don't know. That's autism, ADHD for you. You're just everywhere at once, and nothing can focus your mind because everything is interesting. And ooh, isn't that fun? Let's talk about that for 2 days in a row. ADHD. Woo! I can't focus, but I also can. Yeah. Anyway, I keep on saying anyway. It's like I'm trying to refocus myself, but my brain's just like, no, you will not focus today. Ooh. I'm gonna try to stop saying that. Okay, so that's another one. So I'm making the basic tools because that's what you have to do whenever you start your game. You need to make your basic tools so you can start doing stuff. I've got my stone pickaxe, my stone hoe, my stone shovel, my stone axe, and my stone... Oh, I already have a stone shovel. I needed my stone sword. That was what I needed. A stone sword. And that was an achievement. I got my stone pickaxe. So yeah, that's the thing we're trying to do. It took me a whole episode to get to that point, but the point of this series is that we're trying to get all of the achievements, basically. So we're trying to fill out all of the achievements. And to do that, we are going to just explore and see what we can do and just have fun and ramble endlessly about whatever the fuck is in my brain at the moment. Because last episode I just rambled and now I died. Well, there goes all that progress. I don't know where I was. I think I'm not going to go too far away from my starting position this time because I don't want to go find where I was, and I literally just had some starting tools. So yeah, we'll let those despawn and let's begin again. Just get rid of the last episode. It's fine. It's just nothing. No, I'm not. But yeah. So I wonder. So in Minecraft, the evolution of your tools is pretty linear. So you've got the stone. You've got a workbench from which you make stone tools, and then from the stone tools, you make wood tools. So from the wood tools, then you make stone tools, and then after stone, you make iron. After iron, you make diamond. And I think that's it. It's just the wood, stone, diamond. Yeah. And then there's gold, which is bullshit because stone, gold, unless it's changed and gold has suddenly become more valuable than I remember it. Because gold used to be just you don't waste your gold on weapons, you're just wasting your time. But yeah, so just you don't really waste your wood on much wood tools because it's just they're gonna break really soon. I think wood and stone were the same value. Probably not. There was probably more durability on. I actually don't know, but it didn't break anything more. It wasn't any more tough. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Anyway. But like, so gold is a pretty weak metal, and most of its value is from, like, in the real world, gold is a very weak metal, and most of its value comes from its rarity, but also its intrinsic, like, prettiness. Like, people liked it because it's shiny, and people like shiny things because it's the monkey brain being like, ooh, shiny, shiny. So, like, gold is valuable because it's shiny, and it's also, like, what we value other things off of. So, like, you can say, like, oh, this salt was valued its worth in gold, which makes perfect sense, because in the olden days, especially before refrigeration, salt was what people used to keep their food from going bad. So, like, you salt meat, you salt fish, you salt things so that it doesn't go bad, so you can eat through the winter. You salt it. And if you don't have salt, you starve. So it makes sense that salt would be incredibly valuable. And salt is, like, you can get salt from various places. You can get salt from, like, mining salt, so, like, mining the mineral salt, but you can also get salt from, like, seawater. So you can, like, there's where I used to, in the Bay Area, there's, close to the Bay Area, there's these salt patches. So there are these, basically what they do is they take seawater into these big holding facilities. They're like shallow ponds, and then they basically, just let the, like, water dissipate. What's the right word for it? Like, evaporate. They let the sun, like, all the water evaporate, and it leaves just the salt behind. And what they'll do next is they'll scrape the salt off and then purify it, and then you've got, table salt, which is fascinating because, like, that's where sea salt comes from. And there's a lot of different ways, and pink salt and all that stuff. But salt's incredibly important. It's not as important now because of, like, all the, like, refrigeration and, like, modern stuff that we use to keep food longer and all the, like, but, like, salt used to be incredibly important. And it's also, like, it used to be incredibly important for your diet, because if you exist off a diet of, only, if you exist off a diet of only, like, plant fiber, then you won't have enough salt, and salt is very important in your body. Like, today we have too much salt. But in the olden days, when salt was, expensive, a lot of people didn't have enough salt. And salt is what keeps your body, like, it's what helps you absorb moisture. It's what keeps, yeah. I'm rambling again about salt this time, and I'm also getting lost. I should really focus on what I'm trying to do. Okay, so what do we need to do? So we need to find, we found a ravine, so we should probably go in the ravine to get stuff. Because we need iron. Oh, shit. No. Ugh, fuck me. Well, that stuff's all gone. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the video and get back up to that point, and then we're gonna find a natural cave or something. But yeah, I'll be back in, like, a second when I get back to the point I was before. Well, actually, let's not. Let's go off into where I died and see if there was anything left. This will be interesting. But yeah. Like, also, apparently, so salt is not only, like, necessary for us, like, fleshy humans, it's also, it's necessary for, like, the whole animal kingdom, and, like, salt licks for, like, deer, and, like, horses have salt licks because they need salt, because everyone needs, like, some amount of salt, just not as much as, like, we put into everything in our diet, because at some point, like, people decided, well, it's less than people decided that there was only one spice and it was salt. It was more that people only had like salt available for many decades for a seasoning. And then when people got when I say people, I mean more like white Europeans. So white Europeans, like the whole cooking and like culinary of Britain and more of Europe in general changed dramatically when they got access to like India and China and like the New World, because like the ingredients that they had were so much more vast than the ingredients that, Europe had, because Europe didn't have a lot of spices, but India has so many spices, and China has so many spices, and America has so many more foods. So, like, tomatoes are from the New World. Before the New World, like, French cooking looked completely different, or because, like, they didn't have tomatoes, and that's where tomato sauce comes from, and just so much, like, stuff that we consider, or at least Americans consider, very key to Italian cooking, or at least Italian American cooking. I've been to Italy, but I don't have the particularly best memory of, like, exactly. It's not coming to mind what exactly, like, how much, New World flavors were involved, but definitely. And New World is a very old term, but it's basically America and, like, North and South America. So corn, tomatoes, and, like, wheat. Wheat comes from the Middle East. And, like, probably sheep, but, like, cows come from, like, India. Like, cows are native to India, and I think parts of... Like, cows came from, like, a large area, but cows are very, like, from India. Like, India is very particular. I'm very bad at... But you know what Cows are from India, and, like, there's a lot of spices that are used in, like, French cooking and English cooking, British cooking, and, all of those different areas that are from India, and they don't grow naturally in... like the places that they're used in, but it's because of things like the Silk Road and like trade that they became such staples in where they're from. And this is all coming from me talking about salt, so my brain today. But yeah, salt is like incredibly important to all of these diets, because without salt all their food would have gone bad. So you don't have salt, you don't have food. And so, like, the basis of a lot of diets was very salty. And we started to, like... And also, like, our body craves salt. So it's really easy when you're making something... If you want to make something taste good, to add salt or sugar. One of the two things we crave the most. Because monkey brain sees salt and it's like, good. And that's why America has too much salt and too much sugar. Anyway... That's not the only reason. There's a lot of reasons. I think there's just, the easiest ones to talk about. Capitalism. Whoa, I did not die there. Haha. So yeah. But back to Minecraft. We have our basic tools again. And we can start, like, making stuff, and then we can find some iron down here, because we are with iron, and we have a lot of, like, other... We have a lot of wood, so we won't run out of wood soon. I've gone into caves before and then realized that I don't have wood, and I can't get out because my... my sword, my shield, my, pickaxe broke, and I'm like just trapped there, and I'm like trying to like get... Ooh, I found some iron. Jackpot. But yeah, so history is just fascinating, because like like, one of the, like, fascinating things to me is, like, how how we dilate time in our own mind, because the things that, like, for, like, most of our history, we were just farmers. Like, the slope of technology expansion is exponential. So, like, the period of time until one thing took a lot longer than the next thing, and it's just like our ability to create technology is exponential, and we've been growing at rates that are much crazy, but we've always been growing at rates that are crazy because that's how exponential curves work. And it's just, yeah. And I'm just like, for centuries, there was just, knights, and, like, you knew what you were going to be because your father was a knight, and, because of, like, the feudal system, you were always a knight if your father was a knight. And it's like, nowadays, the job your dad has might not be the job that you can possess, but this isn't even the first time that was happening, because there was times where, like, knights were a thing, but then maybe, like, knights stopped being a thing, which happened over a long time. Like, knights became less and less of a thing, but it was, like, a very long time. But, like, there must have been, like, the last generation of knights, and the last generation, well, they're still knights, because there's, like, but they're all, like, ceremonial knights at this point. It's like the guards at Buckingham Palace. Like, there's actual police at Buckingham Palace. I doubt that the Queen is actually being protected by the knights, not the knights, the guards at Buckingham Palace. They're mostly just for tourism at this point, but there's also police guards, I'm sure, at Buckingham Palace, and, Secret Service, or the British equivalent of Secret Service, that watches the King and Queen to make sure that no one, like, tries to assassinate them. Because someone doesn't like the monarchy, or the idea of a monarchy, even though they make a lot of money for, like, tourism and stuff. But, everyone has their opinion. But yeah, the whole idea of, like, who was the last, like, the level of change that happened when, like, people started not needing, like, iron smelteries. Like, my dad was an ironsmith, and he made swords all his life, but no one wants to buy swords anymore because no one's, fighting with swords. Or, there's always, like, one person. Like, there's people even today that make swords, but it's not, I think there's very few people that are today like, my ancestors made swords and now I make swords. It's probably like, oh, I picked up swords, like sword making, because I really like art, and there's, like, an art to making swords. And I can always be proven, like, I can definitely be proven wrong. There's probably at least one person who's like, I am a knight, or, well, I don't know about knight, but, like, I am well, there's probably one, but, like, I am a knight because my father was a knight, and my grandfather was a knight, and my great-grandfather was a knight. And it is a long, like, history of knights in my family, and, yeah. Or, like, I am a blacksmith because my father was a blacksmith, and my grandfather, and, like, I have, like, four, like, centuries of blacksmithery in my family. Which would be very impressive, and I would definitely love to interview someone like that. Just being like, my family ancestries have been blacksmithers for, like, the eons and on and on. Because, like, if people have been blacksmithing since, the 4th century or the 18th, or, a long ass time ago, then there must be, like, people that have been, like, for centuries my family has been in the blacksmith business. But anyway, as with all of these, all 2 of these episodes so far, I have talked very little about Minecraft, and almost exclusively about history. But my timer has gone off again, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. Maybe we'll actually do some Minecraft stuff next time. I hope you guys had a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!